They work hard to get our athletes back in the game. As part of their commitment to our athletes, Farm Ranger Orthopedics and Spine provides a free bumps and bruises clinic. The clinic is open Monday and Thursday from 7 to 8 a.m. during school year and at our Walmart location.
Hello and welcome into the Erie Tiger Network, and just as we're joining you, we are going to have the National Anthem live as sung by Michaela Shidler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, once again, that was Erie High School student Michaela Shidler. Well, Brandon Bird here with you for the first volleyball game broadcast of the year. Joining us tonight, our special color guest, Coach Fox, Russ Fox. And Coach, happy to have you back.
Yeah, good to be here, man. Thanks for having me. I wrangled in the middle of the night here.
It has been a good start for Erie Athletics on the season, a good start for the volleyball team as well, as they went down to Discovery Canyon. They won in straight sets. I know you have a little bit of feel for the players of the team. What are kind of some of the things that you see out here in warm-up, some things you just know that this team brings to the table?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting start to the season with Discovery Canyon and Evergreen, two big schools. They're two good volleyball programs, and I think that's something to keep in mind as, I know as Coach Reed is starting to work on building the schedule and trying to build the schedule of teams they can get competitive, but also that will not sink the ship, so to speak, RPI at the end of the year. Has the ambition to host Pac-12 State. So, yeah, so this team is working well. Hitters against the other team. Watching Evergreen in their warm-ups, they've got a big tall middle who can really pound the ball down, so that'll be some more watch throughout the game.
And speaking of Evergreen and what they kind of bring to the table, already 1-0. They won in straight sets over Denver School of Science and Tech Buyers. There are so many Denver schools of science and tech.
That's, this will probably be a much tougher match tonight. So hopefully Erie just had a tougher match to start against a really good Discovery Canyon program. Comes out a little sharper. We'll see the first 5 minutes that Erie's showed up.
All right, so we are all set here. Erie donning some new black uniforms, and Evergreen will be in the blue. Well, it's pretty dark on the camera, but Evergreen will start on the right side of the court, or excuse me, Erie will start on the right side of the court. Evergreen will start on the left. Doesn't help that they both start with E as well. Of course, the Tigers coming off a 16-9 year a season ago, which they made it to the regionals. They would drop to Palmer Ridge, and that would end their season at 16-9 in Coach Molly Creek's first year. We are almost all set. It will be Pride's Casillas Khan for the Tigers as well as Katie Hayes, Veronica Belts, and what is it? It's Yemen. Belts will dig, set up backside for Pride. She'll tap it over. Now played on the Evergreen side. Is hitting their basketball here. And trying to re-dive, but that would have been double hit. Either way, a point for Evergreen. Back to serve for the Cougars. Hayes. This one is back set over far side. Big hit there. Long by Sydney Price.
See right away 1 or 2 passes on serve receive. Setting up not great offensive attacks, and that's kind of that slippery slope you want to dump on the serve receive right off the bat.
Belts digs. Heyman set near side for Casillas. A little miss hit there, gathered by Evergreen to the near side, and they cannot corral over the net. I think Coach Fox is running a double hit there.
Yeah, they double landware in the net, so that's where the fish don't see it, the ball didn't lie.
Number 8, Kate Sebastian.
Price back to serve for the Tigers. They trail it 2 here in set number 1. As Price will float one into the back row. Dug out there is
Score 1-3. Number 8, Skylar Cable back to serve for Evergreen.
Claudia Dillon.
Yeah, that's the that was a flat-footed swing that came into his face.
Played over third time by the Tigers. Evergreen on the attack. Over again by Dillon. Dug out by Eamon. Now to the side. Big hit and deflected for a Tiger point. And that's Kate Sebesta. Claudia Dillon, the University of Missouri commit, so we'll play some volleyball in the SEC.
Good little player from one upside. They haven't gotten her a set yet. She's still so now when she goes back to serve, you know you're a good player and be able to win the serve. But this is where Haley has to push points, close gap while she's in the field.
Set near side. Dillon is hammered down toward the back row and not handled, and a kill there.
After Claudia Dillon's serve, back to serve for Erie. It's number 4, Megan Casillas.
It's time to make sure you get your serve in. Not the time to super aggressive.
Sets the far side. Avery Passport dug by Belts, and a little miscommunication there at the front, and an Evergreen point.
It's a slow release by Megan. She's back there.
Serving for Evergreen, number 9, Jillian
Up in front.
Mackenzie Wolski, number 11, substitutes
Serving
in
now
for Evergreen.
is Jillian Horman for the Cougars, and just waiting here for a moment as the officials have a discussion. Something with the substitution or the rotation.
It's always driven crazy. Officials check lineups for the team that didn't have. It's not always a let them serve. It's part of practice. It's get knowledge right. Let's run the game.
Set near side. And a big hit is down and in there for the kill. That's Addison Huber, and that is her first kill of the season. 2 new faces for the Tigers here this year. Addison, one of those. You might see Rachel Carreras at some point. We've already seen Kate Sebesta. Other than that, returning players for the Tigers as well. But one player that is not here and in the lineup, and it seems like almost impossible, Maya Michelson has moved on to bigger and better things.
First volleyball collegiate level this weekend, and looks like this week it's the first time that a player has ever played.
Amen delivers the kill. She drops it in front of the back row. Jess Amen has the 4th Tiger kill of the night. They now lead it 6-5. Skylar Small back to serve. She'll float one into the back row. Dug out there. Evergreen on the attacks. Back set near side. Cross court. Saved by the Tigers. And then Casillas tried to hit it from her backside. And Belts was trying to come over. And both players just kind of got each other's way there. Now Gabby Clark set to serve. As it appears somebody might be hacking into the Bluetooth. Let's dig. Set near side as Kreitz pounds one. And there's the hammer of Sydney Kreitz for the first time this year. Or excuse me, in our broadcast. Of course, the Tigers have already played an entire match.
First home.
Yes, first home game. Now Belts will score this one.
So that's the rotation there. So they were down 2-4 when Hannah, their best player, their middle, was in the transition back. So they caught up 2 points away.
Now back to serve for Evergreen is Haley Dillon. Set up near side. Kreitz. Here's Kreitz with block back on the Tiger side. Kreitz with the two-handed flush. The Tigers take 8-7 lead.
So it toughest place to defend the ball. It's hard to tell which way it's going to go. The hitter has more prolonged contact than they normally do. It's real tough to defend that.
Amen into the back row. Dug out there, far side. Played by Sebesta, blocked at the net. Back on the Evergreen side, and they play ping pong with it, but they can't corral. So 9-7 lead. For the Tigers.
There's another ball hit long there. This play by Evergreen. 10-7 Tigers. Just goes back to serve. So over pass by number 10. Hit across, dug by Ronnie Belts. Set to the middle, that's Haley Hahn. Dug back up on Tiger. Sydney Kreitz with the swing. Nice dig by the libero for Evergreen. Pass up, back row attack coming from libero. Dug again by Ronnie Belts to the back row. Sydney Kreitz, a long distance tip, and a good dig by Evergreen. Played over to Erie. Just met with a big set. Again, Kreitz for the 3rd time, hits it out of bounds. That's a nice prolonged rally there for both teams. Looks like a little early season volleyball, scrappy, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, not a lot of clean passing. 10-8 Evergreen.
All right, we understand that our crowd mic was a little too loud and you probably had difficulty hearing us.
You missed all my beautiful color analysis.
Yeah, well,
shoot,
so much more to come. In case you did miss it, Coach Fox joining us here on the broadcast. Brandon Bird here with you in this first game, 11-8. So we have toned down the crowd noise here, so you should be able to hear us as there's an ace for the Tigers, and they're looking good here in set number 1, a 4-point lead over Evergreen.
Served by Sydney Kreitz, who is now the most veteran, experienced player on the Tigers team. Serve over again, passed up by Evergreen, set to their big player, number 15. Dug up by Kreitz. Out of system play, and it's going to be out.
Coach Fox has a future in volleyball play-by-play, I think, if he wants it.
I don't think so. That's real uncomfortable, Brandon. The more you talk, the better.
Okay. Well, Evergreen on the serve, received by Kreitz. Amen sets it up near side. Big hit, blocked at the net, falls back onto the Tiger side. Back set, far side, Casillas, the little swipe with the right hand. Picked up by Evergreen, back to the far side, hit by Clark, and that'll drop in front of Belts for the kill.
It's an interesting product of the rotational defense that Erie has played and has always played, that if the block doesn't get set up, it leaves a big gap in the middle, and it was exploited there.
Now Skylar Gale will serve it. Amen, big set, near side, it down the line, and just wide.
Just long,
the call, or just long. That was Kate Sebesta. A newcomer for the Tigers. Timeout, we're gonna step aside here real quick. Tigers, they lead it by 1, 12-11 here on the Erie Tiger Network. Back, it's the same commercial. Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Coach Fox here with you on the call in this first volleyball home game of the season. We're excited to bring it to you. Of course, we will be down in Pueblo during the CU-CSU game, might I add, for the call. No bitterness there.
No bitterness there from the most adamant CU fan.
Gale will serve, and Tigers could not handle that time. And we are all level at 12 here in set number 1.
The Tigers serve receive off to kind of a rough start. Not too many 3 passes, making it hard on the setters.
Gale, again, floats one to the back row. Belts will pass it to Amen. Back set, far side. Casillas had to lean back to get it and skite it over the net. And Evergreen on a bit of a run here. 5 unanswered. And that one is long, just with the doctor order.
Yeah. Well, and that 5 unanswered run came off of 4 unforced errors on Erie's part. So not so much anything that Evergreen's doing to scare you, just Erie not cleaning up their side of the ball.
Hahn floats one into the back row, picked up there by the libero McLaughlin. Now played over, a little off-tempo hit. Think maybe it was accidental, but it was Gabby Clark on the kill. Kind of a sheepish grin after that hit.
I don't know, that's the gap in the defense there, that's a weakness.
Now Dillon to Kreitz, who just caught it off the end of her hands and couldn't deliver the pass, and now the Tigers down a pair. Dillon again from the back row. Set near side. That one is blocked at the net. Picked up. Back onto the Erie side. Set to the near side. That's Sebesta, and that one drops in there for a Tiger point.
Rolled across the net. Take them any way they come, right?
And now it'll be Megan Casillas back to serve for the Tigers.
Forgive us if you've already heard this. I'm not sure if you heard before the crowd noise, but when their Missouri-bound player is off the court, this is where Erie's really got to really push points here.
A nice little tap down, and eventually it earns the point. That's Addison Huber. And it's 15-15. Yes, we did mention early when we may have been drowned out a little bit by the crowd noise, Claudia Dillon, the middle blocker here for Evergreen, as this one ping-pongs around and gets over a third hit. Set up in the middle, blocked at the net. Evergreen still on the attack, set up near side, tapped over. It's Kreitz, and a violation on the Tigers. Anyways, what we were saying, Claudia Dillon, number 15 for Evergreen. Can't miss her. Extremely tall, out of the middle. She's not on the floor currently, but she is a Missouri commit, so she'll play volleyball in the SEC. Now this one zips into the back row. Kreitz digs, picked back up, and played from the back row by Belts. Evergreen trying to set something up, far side. Belts, Casillas, near side, hit, blocked down and in by Sebesta, and another kill for her, and the junior already has 4 of those.
Yep. Yeah, she's got a good swing, good fast, tight arm swing up top, and if I were Jess and Megan, I would send as many balls as I could that way. Play the hot hand.
Now Skylar Small into the game. She'll drop a serve in toward the back row. Played over third time gently. Casillas has to pass it far side. Amond with a pretty good hit. And then toward the net. Amen will tap
Great
it
play.
down. Good save there by Evergreen, but they couldn't get the third hit over. A little bit aggressive there was Haley Dillon out of the middle.
And there's where having big, tall setters makes a difference. It's a great play by Jess above the net to get that ball redirected onto their side.
Now Small, another serve. Back set, near side, blocked at the net again. And a little miscommunication. Light a campfire back there, and that's a Tiger point. And a timeout for Evergreen. And we'll stick right here as the Tigers off to a pretty good first set here. This first set is brought to you by the Germany Law Firm. Do you have a plan in place for your family's future? Are you caring for an aging family member or loved one with special needs? The Germany Law Firm named Erie's 2017 Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Since 2004, Susie Germany, Erie resident and EHS alum, has been a building and friendly and approachable reputation by helping families just like yours prepare, customize wills, and trusts. Visit the Germany Law Firm's Erie's Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
Good work.
All right. Got through that first one. You know, even announcers need a couple early season games to get all the bugs out. 18-16, Tigers lead. Small with the serve, set up, hit from the back row, and that one went down the line and called in on the far side official, and the lead cut to 1.
That's a product of Megan thinking that's going to be an off-tempo swing, trying to fill that gap in the middle, releasing, and then it gets hit down the line.
And a little miscue there by the Tigers, and we're all level again. Pretty good action here in the first set, kind of back and forth. Both teams riding a wave of a few points, but neither team has really gathered all the momentum. Belts out of the back row, Casillas will set, and finally punched into the net by Small, and 3 straight points there for the Cougars. Out of a timeout. You like to see that if you're a coach.
Yeah, if you're an Evergreen
If you're
coach.
the Evergreen coach. They called the timeout, I guess I should say. Now Small will dig. Casillas back set far side. This one hit on the run and a nice darting shot from the far side.
Erie got lucky there.
And that one came by Addison Huber. Now Belts to serve. Into the back row. Dug out there, set toward the middle, tapped over, and a nice left-handed tap by one of the Dillon, I'm guessing, sisters. I hope that's not too presumptuous. But 2 Dillons that tall playing in the middle, say it'd be pretty rare for them not to be sisters. That's all I'm saying.
That makes sense to me.
Haley Dillon back to serve.
It's a lot to live up to with an older sister like that, too.
Amen sets for Kreitz, a little off-tempo hit. Far side, blocked at the net, and a net violation, I believe.
There's actually a tip that went off Erie's block into that far side antenna, so that's actually an out-of-bounds hit on Erie.
That's why we need the coach on the broadcast.
That's
he
right,
has
Brandon.
The coach's eyes. Now Haley Dillon again. The right-handed serve. Plucked out of the back row. Near side set. Kreitz hits it into the net, but it rolls down the tape and falls in. And sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah.
And
So a friendly home net bounce there.
Tigers trail it by 1. They could use some good service here from Amen.
Okay, good serve that is misplayed by Evergreen in the back. So that's an ace for Jess and tie game here.
That's Jess Amend back to serve. After the ace, we said we needed good service. She delivered 1. Pretty good serve there, but Evergreen able to recover, and that time it's just poked down the line. That was Mackenzie Obleski. First time we've called her name tonight. Now she'll sub out, and in for her will be Katie Hayes. 22-21 lead. Tense moments here late in the first set, and that serve will go wide.
Yep. Looks like a second set of the season here at times for two clearly talented teams with some big hitters, making some uncharacteristic, unforced errors on both sides of the net.
Kate Sebesta checks back in. Kreitz dumps it into the net, and Sydney Kreitz, usually so reliable on the serve, just miscued that one.
That's a tough one.
Now Skylar Gale back to serve for the Cougars. Kreitz digs. Okay. Amen near side. Big hit. Block. Kept alive, though, by Erie, and Belts will just pass it over. Now Evergreen trying to set something up, and a illegal lift there. And it's tied up at 23. What was the actual call there?
They called it out.
Okay.
They didn't call a lift, just the third hit was way wide.
And another miscued serve, that time by Haley Hahn.
All right, well, Tigers got to dig in here.
Set point here, but a timeout first. We'll stick right here once again. It's time to get your cheerleading on. Tigers Empire Athletics, a cheer and tumble and stunt gym, is proud to offer the best tumbling and stunting classes in northern Colorado. Whether a first-time cheerleader interested in learning the basics of stunting to the most advanced tumblers, Empire Athletics has something to offer for everyone. Please visit our website at empireathletics.com or call us at 303-280-7199. If new customers mention this announcement, they will receive a 10% discount on their first enrollment. They look forward to seeing you soon. So, set point here for Evergreen. And in a situation where there's a timeout before a set point, what are you kind of telling your players that they don't already know in a situation like this?
I don't think you are. I think it's like taking a timeout before a field goal. I think you're trying just to give the other server a little bit of time. Of course, it's their best player, but I think that's the thought process here for Coach Creek.
So Dillon will serve it, taps the net, played by Erie. That could have been disastrous, but that one is hit long by Casillas, and that will do it. So the Tigers drop set number 1, 25-23. We will take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Chiropractors don't treat your symptoms. We treat the cause of your symptoms. On your first visit, we'll review your medical history and examine your vital signs, posture, strength, and reflexes. We'll also perform tests which are designed to give us insight into what may be causing your problem. The doctors at Great Day Chiropractic don't just treat adults. We also treat children of all ages. We're located in historic Old Town Erie at 515 Briggs Street. We're open 5 days a week from Monday through Friday and the second and fourth Saturdays of each month.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Hi, I'm Maya Michelson, and you're watching Erie Tiger Network.
Do you want to?
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Tigers trail it 1-0 as we roll on to the second set here.
An interesting, something that you were not able to see over break. Coach Creek let her entire team huddle up and talk amongst themselves for 2 whole minutes before she entered the huddle. I think it's a savvy coaching decision because it's the girls' voices on the court that really matters in the middle of the game, and it was interesting to see the difference. And when it works well, I think it's a sign of strong leadership on your team and letting them try to work out some of those kinks, kind of set the tone for the next game before the coach can come in and just finish up with any sort of redirection. It's very rare that you see it, and I've always been impressed that Coach Creek does it, and it's a nice move.
Russ, this would be my 5th season, or 4th season, I guess, of calling volleyball. And to my very still amateur eye, it always seems like the home team in the second set has a little bit of a letdown. Do you ever notice that, or?
No, never.
Never, okay.
I don't know. I think there's, especially a nice crowd at home. It's easy to get amped up, and then especially after a loss, that's a tough emotional to try to amp back up, especially against a strong team. Olive come out of the gate good here, so
2-0 lead right out of the chute as Amond will deliver it into the back row. Excuse me, Amond. Yes, Amond, 3rd season now playing varsity for the Tigers.
Yeah, a lot of experience. Varsity got Jess, her 3rd, Sydney with her 3rd and a half, Megan Casillas with her 3rd, and a bunch of other girls on their 2nd.
Tap near the net, and I think they called.
It's a back row attack. So when the setter, so Jess, who's a back row setter, jumps up and tries to set the ball to her side, but is then contacted by a blocker on the other team, it's a back row attack. It's tough because there's nothing the setter can do, but.
Do you ever coach your players to try and reach out and touch the setter?
No, it's not the setter. It's the ball after the ball has been set by the setter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If a back row setter jumps and sets the ball, we do everything we can to go touch that ball because it's going to be a back row attack. The frustrating thing is one of the harder calls to call in volleyball, and when officials missed it, it drives you crazy as a coach when you practice it in practice and it doesn't reward you in a game.
3-2 Tiger lead, set near side for Dillon. Good dig that time by Belts. Set far side, tapped over a little bit off tempo that time, but corralled by Evergreen. Now they'll swipe it, and I think Coach Fox was wanting a lift.
I thought it was out. I thought they pushed it on the outside of the kind of the camera side of that antenna, but it's hard to see from here.
Saw your hand go up in my periphery.
That's just my me making the out motion.
Far side, and
there.
That one is pelted down and in. A nice zipping kill that time by Kate Sebesta.
I think it's a hangover from Coach Tanaka, but I know this whole team and the whole coaching staff is a big believer in things such as volleyball gods and ball never lying, and I think that might have been an example of a missed call resulting in a kill the other way.
Tapped over by Dillon, and there is the length of Dillon. She just reached up and almost like Manute Bull trying to dunk. Didn't even have to jump.
Didn't have to jump.
4-4 here as Dillon goes back to serve for the Cougars. And that one drops in there. Nice little top spinning serve. Just tucks in before it heads out.
No. She's a really, really talented player, is Sydney Kreitz, but she's having a tough day in serve receive right now. You can tell they're picking on her by most of the serves going her way.
Sebesta drops one in there. They let it go, and it just touches the line. That is her, unofficially, her 6th kill of the evening. And now Megan Casillas to serve. This one had some zip over, just played in the back row, and then not sure that one ever got to the blocker's side. Into the net and a Tiger point. Casillas to serve again. Kind of a knuckler into the back row. Now set up a spike coming all the way from Dillon in the back row, and now Tigers will play it over after it was hung up in the rafters. Set up, tapped over, Casillas keeps alive, Belts diving, and the Tigers will play it over third time. Now Evergreen trying to set up, far side, tipped at the net, Kreitz digs, set up in the middle, Hahn with the swipe, diving dig by Evergreen, and they'll play it over third time. Now Casillas has to dive. Hahn will set it up far side for Sebesta, and that one drops in there. Best rally of the night, ends in a Tiger kill, and they lead it 7-5 here in the second set.
That was a great scrappy rally. That's fun volleyball to watch. Coach Creek wipes her brow after that one.
Casillas drops one in front of the back row, set to the near side, angling hit. It'll be Kreitz that digs. Now Sebesta again, that one is blocked but out, and Sebesta has it going on. 8 kills so far in this one, 2 straight, and the Tigers stretch the lead up to 3.
It's really interesting to watch Erie if you've been an Erie fan for the past, couple years. It's interesting to watch a team that in the past has been center attack working out to being clearly an outside attack heavy team, which is a little more traditional, but it's fun to watch, and it's, a different feel.
Casillas tips the net and drops it in there for an ace.
It's the second time the net's been real nice.
Net being kind here in set number 2. And this one delivered in the back row. Evergreen will play it from the far side. Belts digs toward the net. Set up, far side, tapped over by Sebesta and dug out along the far sideline. Played back. Another high dig there by Casillas. Kreitz will just smack it over with the right hand. Out of the middle, tipped. And a good recovery for a moment, but a net violation on Erie. They're going to call that on
Haley Hahn.
Haley Hahn.
Over aggressive. And for an athlete as incredible as Haley Hahn, that's something that tends to, when you're that high above the net, it's easy to start pushing over because you can jump that high. And it's something that she's been working on for a couple years now.
Now Horman back to serve and into the net. And a point for the Tigers. Skylar Small will check in for Sebesta. Small will float this one in toward the back row. Played back into the middle, almost hit by 2 different players. Evergreen does get it over. Now there's Sydney Kreitz, and oh man, check the wrist of Skylar Gale, because there might be a fracture there or a bruise. that had some smoke behind the ball.
That was crushed. They're still pumped up about that.
Small into the back row. Played by Evergreen. Bump set to the far side for Clark, and she'll play it long. And the Tigers cruising here. They now lead it by 5, and that will draw a timeout. We will take a timeout. Tigers lead it by 6 here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Open up a browser and look up youtube.com/Erie Tiger Network. To subscribe, sign into YouTube and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about ETN posts. To like the video, click the thumbs up button on the right hand side of the screen. Use the bar on the bottom of the screen to move.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Russ Fox here with you. Grayson Blaylock, our producer. We have Kayla McTavish on the camera as well as Chris Jolly as Kreitz hits one and it never got over, so too many touches for the Tigers. And Evergreen will score a point here out of the timeout. Tigers actually set that one up well. Just couldn't quite execute. Clark will serve. Pretty good home crowd here tonight for the Tigers. Casillas in the middle. Hahn will swipe it, and I thought that might have even been tipped. Casillas was calling for it. I think she calls for it every time, though.
I think
just
so.
About every Tiger does. To no avail. This one will knuckle into the back row. Played back to Kreitz, and she will pelt one. Knocks the Evergreen player right off her feet. Back to Casillas, high in toward the rafters. Belts will just play toward the center, and Kreitz just barely mistimed her jump. Jumped a little early and tried to hit it on the way down and hit it into the net.
I think a difference in this game, Ronnie Belts is having a really nice second set here, and I think you can feel it.
And the net kind that time to the Cougars as that ball hitting rolled over the top of the net.
That's what we get for talking about it. My fault.
And I believe that's Hannah Kurz out on the floor now. We have her as 14 on our roster.
Yeah, subbed in for Haley Hahn. I'm not sure it's anything that Haley did in particular, but sometimes when other team takes a timeout, goes on a run, just a change of pace, let the offense look at a different blocker up there.
5-0 run out of the timeout. Second time Evergreen's done that tonight. Belts plays in the middle, set for Kreitz, and she will smash one.
It's a really great pass. I know it's the boring thing to talk about, but it's a great pass. And the Tigers here are going to have a sub violation.
I hesitated there because I'm not sure how to say the name for the player on Evergreen. Cody Pregnance.
Looks right to me.
All right.
Tigers here in an interesting situation. So what happened is on the way out, one of their players ran up to into the sub zone in front of the 10-foot line. Wasn't her turn, so she ran back to the bench. Well, the official rule is if you run into that sub zone, you have to sub. So they're going to let them pass here as the first game of the season. But something to keep in mind here for the Tigers as that's kind of first game, second game jitters as well.
Now Belts with the right hand into the back row, played by McLaughlin. Far side set, just swiped over with the right hand. Coach Krieg thought it was out. And Casillas just reached up to try and tip it in desperation as Belts was coming over and tipped it right into the shoulder of Belts. And Evergreen continuing to play well after their timeout.
Erie had no business winning that point because they were all in the net, got missed, and so came back around. Sometimes when that happens, even if it doesn't get called, the players all know it, and it's hard to keep playing as hard as assuming a whistle's coming no matter how much they practice it. So here that weird rotation that Erie had is getting them a little bit sideways rotation-wise. Evergreen's going to get a point for an out of rotation. They shouldn't give them a point because they never beacon for a serve. Here they're going to be out of rotation.
Crowd into it and
wrong serve. That's one of those things that works out great for Erie. You don't like it. I hate it when your other team, when something rotation-wise is happening that maybe ices your server. It's a big pet peeve of mine when it's the other team doing it. Glad when it happens to them.
Dillon will set. Played in the back corner. Belts. Amond. Kreitz, the off-tempo hit. Good recovery. Second hit over by Evergreen. Now out of the middle and just misswiped that time was Huber. And
I think Erie's having a little bit of a problem here. I'm not sure they have more than one kill total out of the middle, and it's letting Evergreen's defense really tee off, set up on the outside, and their middles predict to move that way.
Belts will slide in there for the dig. Set to Kreitz. She'll play it into the back row. They'll set it up near side. And just dropped in there with nice accuracy that time with Skylar Gale. And we're all tied up at 14. The ebbs and flow of volleyball, always so unique to this sport.
Frustrating too, isn't it? Is it not?
You know, the thing that always kills me about volleyball, it's like maybe run differential in baseball, where you could accumulate all these runs in a particular set, but they don't carry over.
Yep.
Now out of the middle, Dillon, and she just thumped that one into the floor. And a little bit of momentum building here for Evergreen as they take their first lead in the set. Coach Creek trying to prod on her team to rally here. Back set, near side, Kreitz in the back row, dug out that time by Hayes. Now set up, and that never got onto the Tigers' side, and a point here for Erie.
You know, it's probably not news to anyone listening, but it's so important when the other team has a big middle to give them a tough ball. You'll see if you watch their Evergreen's middle, when Erie hits the ball hard, she just stands at the net because they're out of system and can't have her swing. Of course, out of serve receive, you can set up your own play and have her swing from wherever you want, which is what just happened there.
Tigers trail by 1. As Skylar Gale checks in. Kreitz in the middle, back set near side. Casillas will angle across court, diving dig to save for Evergreen. Now played over third time, a diving save there by Amon. Now played over by Kreitz into the middle. Dillon, as she was going down the floor, just poked it right over, set toward the net, and it caromed off. It was almost blocked, and then it was kind of squeezed there along the net, fell into the Evergreen side, and they couldn't get it over.
And that's one of those plays that never see again.
Belts, back row, set near side, angling hit, good dig by Kreitz. Set up far side, Sebesta tried to angle it to the corner, and that's where Cougars are kind of locating in those corners right now. Set out of the middle, Hahn pelts one, and good dig out of the back row. And good dig by the Tigers up into the sound absorbers in the rafters. Good rally here, back and forth, and Dillon just using her height going over her head, and that's about as flat as a little over the head bump as you'll see. Almost like she's hitting that out of a tree. 17-16 lead now. Dillon back to serve.
This is where Erie's got to push.
Far side, Sebesta. Dug out of the corner, set up. Good save there by Kreitz. Back set to Casillas, off tempo, gets it to go.
Yeah, you can see when Erie's in system and Evergreen's out of system or not able to set their middles, it's a huge difference.
Casillas delivers an ace, yes. Dillon couldn't handle that rocket. Tigers recapture the lead. Both sets back and forth here. Good action in this Erie gym for this first home game. Dug out of the middle, set up near side, and it's the other Dillon that couldn't gather as that set sailed too close to the net. And a 2-point lead for Erie late. And now Dillon will check out. That's Claudia Dillon. As Casillas to serve. Rockets one into the back row. Played over by Haley Dillon. Now Sebesta, that one was blocked, played over by the Tigers. Evergreen trying to set up out of the middle. Big hit and nice, almost a nice save there.
Maybe if the yearbook kids could just get out of the way. I'm just kidding.
My fault.
Gonna rib Brandon a little bit as the fresh minted yearbook teacher at Erie High School. No, they do a great job. They're in the right spot.
Hey, that just reminds me to tell you to buy your yearbook online.
That's right.
Just go to the Erie High School website, scroll down, and there's the link.
It only gets more expensive.
Now back to serve is Skylar Gale. Kreitz will dig. Casillas back set near side. Sebesta pelts one for the kill. And we've seen a big right arm swing of the newcomer, a transfer, Kate Sebesta.
Yeah, transfer from Niwot High School, we understand. It's nice, especially after 4 years of best volleyball player in the state, living in Vista Ridge and going to Niwot. So it is a nice welcome change.
Missed serve there for the Tigers, so a 1-point lead for Erie now. Kreitz will dig. Casillas sets quick in the middle. Hahn tried to just kind of punch it out to the right. Now set up by Evergreen. They'll play it just long out the back, and a point there for the Tigers.
Yeah, this is that same, kind of inverse of what happened last game. Tigers lead 21-19. We talk a lot about the importance of being the first one to 21.
Now Hahn will play this. Just tucks it in, and almost a dazzling save there with the little hand on the floor. Was pregnant and
pancake.
Pancake. Good to know. And just tapped down. A two-handed flush for Huber, and the Tigers cruising now. They lead it by 4 late in the set, and a timeout coming. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching the Erie Tiger Network.
You have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you. Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
Huber a player last year?
Nope, she transferred too.
Oh, wow. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. As the Tigers lead it by 4 here in the waning moments of this set. Haley Hahn will serve it here.
This is that important serve after a timeout. Can Haley Hahn not fall victim to the other coach here? The answer is no. I know, Brandon, I know that is your biggest pet peeve of volleyball, the missed serve after a timeout. And now it's a, that's a tough one too, because you've got their player back up in the front, and Erie's got to really dig in here.
So back to serve is Haley Dillon. Kreitz punched it toward the net, and an easy tap down there for Claudia Dillon. And now the lead down to 2. Evergreen kind of zeroing in here on Kreitz. Good dig that time. Set up, far side. Cross court, and that one stings off the hands in the back row. That's Elise McLaughlin. Couldn't quite handle that. And a kill there for the Tigers. I think that was Huber on the kill. And now Amon to serve. McLaughlin digs, set into the middle, and man, from the top of the rafters, that one came.
It looks like it. It's tough. When someone's that tall, it puts a lot of pressure on defense because you have to start your block so much earlier to get your hands up because the arm swing comes much quicker.
Back set and tapped over by Kreitz. Set point here. Can the Tigers deliver? They have a chance right here. Kreitz will smack one into the back row. Dug out that time by Haley Dillon. Played over, and ooh, they'll say that touched the line. That was close. Made it even tough was the back lines person, I thought was kind of shielded by a Tiger running back toward the ball.
It's frustrating, yeah, and that's you know, that they can make the call that they can't see it, but
Tigers still a chance to ice the set here. Kreitz, that one's blocked, and it will ice the set. So the Tigers come right back. They win 25-23, and in the second set, we'll move on to set number 3, tied at a set apiece here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Order backwards, use the arrow keys to move 5 seconds. You can pause the video at any time by pressing the spacebar or clicking with the mouse.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
There's a beast deep inside you. It will not die.
Ooh.
It will fight back.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Russ Fox here with you. Grayson Blaylock, our producer, here tonight. Kayla McTavish is our lead camera. Chris Jolly, a camera on the floor, as we get you all set here for set number 3. By the way, update, the softball team knocked off Meade earlier today. 9-1, the #1 team in the state. 2 #1 teams here in building so far for these fall sports, at least as the rankings currently stand. As the opening play there is a nice block on the outside for Evergreen. And the final in soccer, Silver Creek knocks off Erie 3-1. Set near side, and that one is pelted long by Huber and out of bounds. So quick 2-0 start here for Evergreen. Your image of what we saw in set number 2. Hazel play it into the back row, small digs. Amin sets, and there's a kill by Sydney Kreitz. And see if they can get Sydney going a little bit here in this set.
Yeah, some sets from the from the right side like that one, or a few more attacks from the middle might really open up the defense.
Now played in toward Dillon and got underneath that one and sent it long. And Chris Jolly had to have his head on a swivel that time. Kreitz float this one in the back row, played by McLaughlin. Now set up for the far side. Belts will dig out of the back row for Erie. Amon sets near side. Blocked at the net though. Now Casillas into the net.
That's a tough swing for a right-handed right side. Typically your right sides, if you had your choice, when they're not your setters, are left-handed, or when they are your setters, that's the best of both worlds. But it's tough when that set doesn't get far enough outside for a right side hitter. That's a nice swing.
And a kill there by Kate Sebesta, and she's closing in on double-digit kills tonight. A transfer from Niwot. Now Belts into the back row. That one's partially blocked. Good job that time by the Tiger defense. Set up for Casillas. Angled in the back row. Almost thought that was double hit there. Now Amon near side. Sebesta again. McLaughlin will pick it up again. A little bit out of rotation there for Evergreen, and it cost him. Or out of system anyway. And just couldn't ever get underneath it and comfortable.
That was a persistent rally from the Tigers.
Now Haley Dillon will play it, and Claudia Dillon a good smack, but Belts another good dig. Belts having a solid match here tonight. Back set near side, cross court. Belts a good dig again. Perfect right to Ahmed, and I believe a double hit there by Ahmed.
It's one of those tricky calls because they have changed the rule, and if the ball doesn't contact 2 independent times, it's not supposed to be a double. That's what they call an ugly set, one that spins, that officially is not supposed to be a double, but old habits die hard, especially for officials, I think.
And this one is also double hit.
No.
So trying to run backward and set it.
It's tough.
Still looks better than anything I could do.
Me too.
Now Claudia Dillon knuckles one into the back row. Near side setup, Sebesta, and they'll say it was tipped.
It's the line judge that looks like she's maybe camping out a little bit back there, which is frustrating, and it's the coaches never want that.
Yeah, just no call back there. Now Tigers on the serve. 5-5. Good dig that time by Casillas. Belts run after it.
That's good save.
And the Tigers do a good job just keeping that one in play. And a tap. Oh, man, unfortunate there. A net touch on Haley Hahn,
yeah, it's the same thing, that jump that overextends, and it's almost her elbows. It's not quite, but it's almost her elbows that are getting the net there. And you want the penetration, you want that push. It's just you don't want it coming down. And if you were to watch it in slow motion, she's pushing and then coming down, which is where she's contacting the net.
Belts from the back row. Back set, far side, and that one into the net. Granite Bird. Coach Russ Fox here tonight. Of course, Coach Fox, now the Dean of Coleridge Middle School in the Frederick feeder, so we'll forgive him a little bit, but still helping out with the Erie Tiger Network. Now out of the middle. Dug there by Kreitz. Casillas will play for Kreitz, and Kreitz just dropped it in there. A little bit of a husband and wife play, miscommunication there in the back line, and Tigers pick up the point.
Never happens, does it, Brandon?
Never happens. Fans, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Erie TigerNet, like the Erie Tiger Network Facebook page, or online at ErieTigerNetwork.com. Service in from Erie, played from the near side by Evergreen, and Hahn tried to wait, and it never just quite caromed off the net hard enough like she was hoping, and just, in fact, the net just kind of deadened it. 2-point lead here for the Cougars. Right-handed swipe goes to Kreitz. Casillas will rotate over back to Kreitz. Good hit down. Now Hahn goes up, and A block at the net by Haley Dillon. And actually, did they call that a...
They called Haley Hahn in the net. And the first 2 times I agreed. That time I did not. I think she pushed the ball into the block, into the net.
Timeout Tigers. We'll stick right here real quick. Some new sponsors on board with an emphasis on lifetime preventative care in Erie. Coleridge Family Dental offers a full-range dental service to meet individual needs and preferences of each patient. From routine cleanings to complete smile makeovers, we utilize the latest dental techniques to give our patients the most up-to-date service. Check us out at ColeridgeFamilyDental.com. 6-9 the score here. Erie trails it in the third set, 1 set apiece. Both sets ended 25-23. And really, neither team has felt like they've had the upper hand on the other team. Very even, pretty good matchup. Like to see the new players out here for Erie. Very impressive. As you said, a new look. But I like what I'm seeing so far here tonight from the Tigers in this volleyball program.
Yeah, they look, for early season, I think they look good and sharp. And, they're swinging hard and they're aggressive, and you always like to see that early. There's not a lot of timidness, which is great. I always said I'd rather be the team making the errors than affording the other team free balls.
And an ace drops in there for the Cougars, and out of an Erie timeout, there's an Evergreen ace.
No point for Coach Creek. She keeps close tallies on those for the season, all season long.
That one will go long, and they'll take that one right back. And so Tigers once again trail by 3 here in set number 3 as Haley Hahn goes back to serve. Hahn plays it toward the far side. Back set out of the middle and played long by Evergreen. They wanted a tip to no avail.
Every time. Something that I think the officials eventually tune out because it's almost every play that it gets asked for.
Blocked out of the middle, and good block there. I think Almond and Huber were both in. They're not sure who quite got their hand on it.
It was Jess. You can tell from the reaction.
And that time for sure it was Jess that just flushed it down, and Tigers defensively here sparking a rally.
It's one of those plays that you see a lot in football preseason. Person makes a tackle, they come out making sure everyone knows who got credit for that tackle so they can maybe make a team.
Hahn will dig from the back row. Casillas sets up for Kreitz into the blockers and then just double hit there, or even a lift is what they ultimately call it, by Haley Dillon.
Yeah, anytime that ball falls above the elbows, kind of in the V between your shoulders and elbows, it's like pretty much an automatic lift.
Now set up for Dillon, and she makes amends with that one with the kill, 11-11. Tigers stormed back, took the lead, and we're level again. Earlier when I think our audio was kind of messed up, mentioned, and we'd be remiss if we didn't re-mention it here with our cleaner audio. No, Maya Michelson, as that one is dug out by Casillas. Seems like she's been in a Tiger uniform forever, as there's a nice kill for the Tigers. And so they're starting to roll here a little bit. But Coach Fox, you kind of mentioned she's moved on to college, but it's kind of a big piece of this program missing, on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, whenever your talented seniors graduate, it's, for this team, it clearly seems like a reload, maybe a little different look, but definitely a reload with, I don't see, the tempo's a little different because not nearly as many attacks are coming from the middle, so that slows the rallies down with longer sets, but the aggressiveness and speed of the attacks are as high or higher than I've ever seen them. So that's a good sign of an aggressive team still hitting the ball hard, just from a different location.
13-12, Tigers lead it here. In the middle part of this third set. almost feels like the middle part of this match. This kind of has the feel of a 5-set barn burner. Good dig there by Jess. Now played Casillas just into the net. Tried to kind of lean back and get it and couldn't get on top, or got two on top of it, I should say.
Yeah, it's a tough set coming from the libero from the back row. It's hard to get a, you know, for a player that doesn't specialize in that, a high enough set to get a good attack.
Belts will dig, Kurz will set, and Amman will play it over. Now on the Evergreen side, Claudia Dillon just ripped one into the floorboards, and a 1-point lead there.
That's the first time we've seen her run a slide successfully, so that's where the middle runs behind the setter, and when the middles can start doing that, it makes it a lot harder to defend, because now we have to defend 80% of the net from one player.
Kreitz from the outside. Good rip down in there, and back onto the Tigers side on the dig. Now Evergreen trying to set it up from the middle. Dillon gets blocked. It's kicked over. Brazilian style, now near side. Kreitz will pound one down into the floorboards. A little bit south of the equator influence there in that one, but it works out for the Tigers.
There you go. So it's more like a beach volleyball look.
I have seen kind of a pancake with a foot. I don't think I've seen an out-and-out kick like that, though. Evergreen will just play it over, third time. Belts from the back row, set up here, near side, and that one is ripped for a kill. It's Kate Sebesta, and she's got double-digit kills on the night. And a timeout called. We'll step aside here real quick. Tigers lead it by 1 in the third set.
Click the search bar on the top right-hand corner of the screen and search up Erie Tiger Network. Click the channel icon and then press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about when we post. Click the thumbs up icon to like the video. To enter full screen mode, press the icon on the bottom right hand corner. To skip forward or backwards 10 seconds, double tap the left or right hand side of the screen. Press the pause button in the middle of the screen to pause the video. To skip to a different video, press the skip button when the video is paused.
And welcome back in. 1-point lead for the Tigers as Kreitz serves it into the back row. Haley Dillon will pick it up, and Claudia Dillon will send it home. Seen a lot of that tonight so far. Full talented sisters out there on the floor.
Yeah, it's not much of a transition either. It's just a tall kid swinging hard, you know, and I think that's probably something Missouri will work on, you know, is if she could be off the net with big transitions, she could be absolutely unstoppable.
Near side, and a rocket is in there for Sebesta.
So Evergreen's defense is interesting on the outside attacks for her, and not for Sydney, but for her, they're sliding their right back defender on the line to try to take away that line, which leaves a seam in the middle if she can get it through the block like she did that time.
Far side set up and partially blocked, but ball just drops in front of Belts. Neither team really wriggling away in set 1. We saw Erie with a 5-point lead that they would squander. In set number 2, we saw Evergreen with a 5-point lead that they would squander. The biggest lead in this set so far, I believe, has been Evergreen with a 3-point lead, and there is a double hit called on Erie. Claudia Dillon back to serve. Set up. And Sebesta again.
Yep. And you can see that defense split, and if they can keep taking advantage of that, it's a good spot.
Casillas all tied here. Delivers this one into the back row. Claudia from the back row just pelts it, and Kreitz dove and kept it alive, but just couldn't get it too far off the floor. Hahn tried to reach out and punch it, but this couldn't handle it. And a 1-point lead again here for Evergreen. And a wayward serve. Just what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. Now Skylar Small will check in for Sebesta. Floater in there for an ace. Sometimes the changeup gets you.
Changeup curveball, that's, you know, it's interesting because Skylar has been consistently serving short, and that's just a team not in midseason form making that adjustment right off the bat.
Now cross court, Belts, Casillas. Kreitz delivers it home. Big hit there by Sidney Kreitz. And the Tigers take a late lead here in the set, 20-18. Small again to serve. 4 along the back row there for Evergreen. Back set, near side, out of bounds. And a 3-point lead here for Erie. Wonder if we might see a timeout. I don't know if there's any left for Evergreen in this set. Believe there's one. Now set from the back row. Far side, cross court.
Yeah, off the block there. It's tough to dig up off that block that's not clean.
21-19, back to serve for Evergreen is Gabby Clark. Floater to Kreitz, set back for Kreitz. She unloads, and that one can't be handled as it's sent careening into the student section. And a 3-point lead again, and Sydney really heating up here towards the end of the set. 2 just howitzers unloaded.
Just picking on a smaller block here of Evergreen and really opening up.
Set to the far side, into the net, a miscue there, and another Tiger point, and a timeout by Evergreen. We'll stick right here as it's late here in set number 3. Tigers looking good. This set brought to you by State Farm. How about having all your insurance needs under one roof? Let State Farm's Jeannie Hulse take care of all your insurance needs. Jeannie's been serving the Erie community for almost 15 years. I'd like to serve you as well. Give Jeannie a call today at 303-828-4002 or visit online at jeanniehulse.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Tiger fans, we will be in Pueblo on Friday night as your #1 Erie Tiger football team takes on the defending 4A state champions at Dutch Clark Stadium in Pueblo. That should be an exciting one. We're excited to bring it to you. We're hoping to get on air about 6:45 or so in that one. But a 23-19 lead here for Erie. Late in the third set as Haley Hahn will go back to serve. And Haley had to serve out of a timeout last time. See if she can stay composed here. Haley gets that one in there. Back set near side, and Dillon sends it long. And the Tigers now just a point away with a big 5-point lead. Their biggest lead in the set coming at set point. On a chance to end it. A little softy into the back row. Set up far side. Blocked at the net. Punched over. Hahn will pass. Casillas near side. Kreitz off the blockers. And set up by Evergreen. From the back row, it's Claudia Dillon. High into the rafters. Careens down, or caroms down, and then played over by Huber. Evergreen trying to set something almost blocked. Picked up by Kreitz. Casillas backs at far side. Amon goes into the back row. Evergreen on the attack again. They'll play it over down the line. Good dig there by Small, and it's miscued. A couple of Tigers were trying to get in on the second hit and just kind of collided with each other.
Yeah, it's a middle not sure if the setter's going to get there, and that sort of fender bender there, if you will.
Haley Dillon spins one in there. Set up near side, hit.
I bet you see a timeout from Coach Creek here or next point. It's a nice time to take one if you have one because you still have the lead. You can kind of reset, let their let their young middle think about it and make a game plan for the next couple points.
We have
won't need it
seen
here.
the Cougars score 5 straight out of 2 timeouts already. They would need one here to extend this set. Sydney Kreitz trying to put an end to that. Evergreen does save it. Now Belts will pass. Casillas keeps it alive. Tigers will get it over 3rd time. Scrambling a little bit as Evergreen. Now Belts will play it in. Set near side. Kreitz goes to the far side, but picked up by Evergreen. Swiped by Dillon, and that will drop in bounds, and Coach Creek will use a timeout. So the 5-point lead cut to a 2-point lead. And we'll stick right here as they're in the waning moments of this set.
You know what? Sorry, what I think you got to be thinking of here is you're going to have the serve, a serve that's not coming that hard. You have to take advantage and at the very least get an on-tempo hard, obviously you want the kill, but an on-tempo hard ball to at the very least take their middle out of the next play. The importance of that first pass here is huge, because if you go out of system and they go in system with their middle, you don't like your chances there.
Hey, Tiger fans, we have just a smile you're looking for. Dr. Damon Caraway and his team of professionals work together to provide you with the highest standard of orthodontic care tailored to meet your individual needs. We offer a full range of orthodontic services for patients of all ages, including children, teens, and adults. For more information, head to carawayortho.com. So here we go. Haley Dillon serves it in the back row. Kreitz sets up, right back for Kreitz, and she ends it. Sydney Kreitz, hot in that set, puts the Tigers on top, 2-1. We'll head to set number 4 here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Chiropractors don't treat your symptoms. We treat the cause of your symptoms. On your first visit, we'll review your medical history and examine your vital signs, posture, strength, and reflexes. We'll also perform tests which are designed to give us insight into what may be causing your problem. The doctors at Great Day Chiropractic don't just treat adults. We also treat children of all ages.
We're located in historic Old Town Erie at 515 Briggs Street. We're open 5 days a week from Monday through Friday and the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of each month.
Don't worry, 74 people will pick before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
And welcome back in, Tiger fans. It's a 2-1 set lead here for the Erie Tigers. They are taking on the number 4 team here in 4A, and this would be a pretty big win. Of course, these rankings, and we bragged earlier about the softball and football teams.
Those ones matter.
Yes, those ones matter.
And are spot on. Never know about volleyball.
Yeah. The Tigers receiving some votes, but fall sports looking strong. Obviously, as this community grows, you get kind of in the upper echelon of the 4A size. That's kind of what you hope for.
I'm nervous about it because the max school build out is above the 4A cutoff line. It's for both Meade and Erie, so it's an interesting design choice, I think.
Well,
should put it right at like 1350, which is right above that cutoff. So
the only caveat is sometimes you never know when the cutoffs will change as Colorado also continues to grow.
Yeah, and there's been talk about adding a 6A, for schools. So
even talk at times of adding maybe a private and charter school classification.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that, Coach Fox, as the Tigers will serve here?
I'm all about it. I think and maybe this is my bitterness of having a career 1-9 record against only family, but it's just a different set of rules. It's a different set of rules that schools play for, and it's not saying they do anything bad. They do a good job with their programs, but it makes a lot of sense to have either a system like California does that moves teams up and down based on performance regardless of size, or a system where like schools are placed in like divisions. That was ugly all the way around.
Ugly.
That's probably a back row attack at the same time there was on Erie, the same time the net violation on Evergreen, and that's why the Evergreen coaches are frustrated. Those seem simultaneous to me. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a replay, but we'll take it.
Kreitz into the back row. Picked up, smacked down into the net.
Maybe some frustration setting in for Evergreen here. Down 2-1 and some sloppy plays right off the bat.
Now Kreitz will play this, or serve this in the back row. Oh man, that's probably the biggest thumper of the night maybe we've seen out of Claudia Dillon. From the left side that time, just rose up, and man, words of Kevin Harlan, up high, down hard.
Yep.
Now Kreitz will play this, set up far side for Sebesta, down the line, good one-arm stabbing save. Back onto the Tigers side, see if they can do something in tempo here. Set was a little bit off, but punched over by Sebesta. Now it's Evergreen. That one hit the net. Tigers trying to recoup here, and they'll just have to play it over third time. Evergreen trying to set up. Big hit by Dillon, and that one pelts off the net and then off of the hands of Sydney Kreitz and out of bounds for an Evergreen point.
Block was a little late there on that slide attack, and it's interesting. I don't know if you think so. I always think the energy in the gym kind of shifts lower when the home team moves across the arena from the student section, and it feels a little flat in here to me.
Yeah, a little bit down on energy for sure, the building.
It's a tough one too, and you love winning that third set going up 2-1, but you don't want to drop this one because a 15-point fifth set is always such a crapshoot, and I'm never convinced the stronger team always wins that, and so you want to take care of business here if you can, if you're Erie.
Nice hit there by Sebesta. Tigers needed that one. Sebesta, as we said, double-digit kills already tonight. Looking very strong here. First chance we've had to look at her this season, and there is another big kill, and Dillon kind of finding some open floor here in this set.
Yeah, a block's late. And it's a product of a attack coming from up high, but that, it's almost like you got to expect the ball to go to her when she's in the front row and then adjust if it goes elsewhere. Misplay there, an ace, an air pass by Sydney Kreitz.
Tigers just looking a little out of sorts. And
the back row block, which is when the back row setter jumps and contacts the ball simultaneously with a front row player of the other team. It's a good call. It's the right call. So you see a disgruntled Coach Creek.
Set up far side. Sebesta, and that one is blocked, and we may see a timeout here.
Yep. And
Coach Creek maybe just letting our players try to sort things out.
Yeah, doing some coaching with our setters about some set locations, I think. I got a little gift there with a short serve by Evergreen into the net.
4-9, Tigers trail it. Big early lead here for Evergreen as they try and level it off at 2 sets apiece. And they're looking good here in set number 4.
Yep.
Told you it kind of has the set or feeling of an early season 5-set barn burner.
Yeah. Make sure all the fans are getting their money's worth here.
Now Kreitz will dig, and Casillas on the run, and Hahn tried to, well, it was a net violation. Freebie there for Erie.
Yep, I'll take that, because that ball was going down on Erie's side regardless of the Evergreen player, and she just went up over and tapped it. A little too aggressive.
Now floater in toward the back row. Back set, far side. Haley Dillon zips one long and an Erie point. Evergreen coaches this time begging for a tip.
I think the frustration there is he called it before looking at either line judge. I think it's a right call, but I think it's also fair frustration. Nice dump by Haley Hahn on the overpass.
Hahn just reached up and tapped it down. And the Tigers starting to climb out of that hole here a little bit. Now set up near side. A little feathery touch into the middle. Swiped by Hahn, touches the line. Haley Hahn back-to-back kills. And a timeout by Evergreen. So Coach Creek lets them play through it. Evergreen coach will call a timeout. We'll take a timeout. Tigers trail it 8-10 here in the 4th.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, as the Tigers, well, they trail it here by a couple, but they force the Evergreen timeout. Now set up near side, and that one's pelted into the net. And after falling in a 5-point hole here early, Tigers back within 1, small, into the back row. Set far side, into the net again, and man, Evergreen all of a sudden just can't get a ball over the net.
There's unforced there after unforced there, and they're not even particularly close. These balls are hitting middle of the net.
That one's miscued. Evergreen will have to just play it over a third time. Tigers can set something up. It's Hahn, cross court, touches the line, and Haley Hahn, her 3rd kill in this little rally. And she kind of sparked it with 2 straight kills. And now the Tigers have their first lead in the set. Set up by Evergreen, near side. Belts will play it. Casillas, far side for Kreitz. Hammers one home.
There you go. Gotta give some credit too to Skylar Small, giving some, a tough float serve. That's seemed to be giving Evergreen serve receive fits. That's really kind of setting up this rally for the Tigers.
Another float serve in the back row. This time Evergreen looks a little more set for it, but a good dig there by Casillas. Good read. And Kreitz will play it over third time. Evergreen trying to set up out of the middle. Blocked. Back onto the Evergreen side. They'll swipe it over, and a violation on Evergreen. I think, coming under the net, or what was that?
Top of the net on the swipe.
Top of the net. Once again, the coach's eyes.
So if it's a under the net violation, they'll point a single finger down at the ground. If it's a net violation, they'll place their hand up. And the wheels have fallen off here for Evergreen on Skylar Small's serve.
At one point, Evergreen was up, I believe, 9-4. And now the Tigers have outscored them 10-1 in the last 11 points. Set up near side. Belts goes to the floor to dig, and the Tigers can't quite get there. Good diving hustle. Megan Casillas.
That's one of those hustle plays you like to see because it's not a realistic attempt at a ball, but it's a sign to your team that, hey, I'm hustling, we're working here.
14-11, Tigers on top. Evergreen serving into the back row. Kreitz off to Casillas. In the middle, Hahn, a big swipe and a pancake back onto the Tigers side.
There you go.
Sydney Kreitz delivers it into the floorboards. And it's a 4-point lead again.
That's a great rally by the Tigers. I don't think she got that pancake up, so doesn't matter either way. It's more fun to get the kill that way.
15-11, and Hahn goes into the net.
Is Coach Creek having some patience and trust with Haley Hahn and her serve? It's always interesting to watch different coaches and how quickly they'll pull a server.
Kreitz again from the far side. Good pickup that time by the libero in the back row, McLaughlin. Now Belts back set, a little close to the net, and Kreitz came across.
Yeah, came down and landed into the net there. And that's a tough one when you're coming from that far off.
Timeout, Coach Creek will step aside real quick on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. As the Tigers lead it by 2 here in the set. See if they can continue playing well here after a slow start to the set. They have rallied in a big way. Evergreen on the attack from the near side, and that one hit the antenna, and a Tiger point.
Coaching point, Coach Creek. Stops a little mini Evergreen run, hopes to shift the momentum back to Erie.
Into the back row. Dillon just tapped it over off tempo. Pancake for Erie. Belts will play it over third time. Another save there by Erie. Now Kreitz will play it. This one partially caromed. Now Evergreen will just have to play it over third time. See if Erie can set something up here. It's Kreitz off the top of the net. Dug out by McLaughlin. Haley Dillon sets it near side. And Belts will dig for Erie. Kreitz. That one is
Never
blocked
quite
down in it.
Yeah, never quite made it over there. Just a low set and a low swing.
Tigers just kind of always in that rally. It felt like they were hanging on the ledge.
Yeah.
Anyway, the top 10 in 4A here. As this one is played a little dump, and the first time we've seen that tonight, and it works out.
I was just about to say, in those rallies with that you just seem to hang on the edge of something that now Coach Katya Fitzgerald used to be an expert at of sensing that and using that setter dump. Nice job there by Jess doing the same thing.
I don't know, we never asked Katya. I don't even know if she knows that this was her nickname on the broadcast. Probably the worst nickname. But we called her the human dump truck.
Yeah, there you go. She's very, very good at it. Very good at it.
17-15. Erie's still on top. Kreitz. Amen, far side. Sebesta! Another kill for her. Tell you what, you're in a rut. Just played over to Sebesta. He has had the goods here tonight. Or was that Huber that had that?
That was Huber.
All right, well.
Sebesta checked in.
You know what?
It's just
Tall,
one play early.
Tall, kind of light hair, far side, hard to tell. Another point there for the Tigers, and it's a 4-point lead. Now Belts. Another little floater, and it's an ace. That was a Trevor Hoffman changeup.
Yes. That is a very old Padres reference.
Another timeout. We'll step aside one more time here, hopefully. Tigers, they lead it by 5 late in the 4th.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
There's a beast.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. A look into the huddle. Coach Creek trying to give some final instructions here as the Tigers. They just need to score 5 before Evergreen can score 10. And Belts will be back to serve. The 4A rankings, we were about to bring that up as Belts floats another one in there. Back set, partially blocked, but it'll drop in there for an Evergreen point. Lewis Palmer, the unanimous #1 in the state. They're
For the
first.
past 7 years.
Yeah, for seemingly forever. Every once in a while you might see Cheyenne Mountain pop in there. They have some company in district though, as Palmer Ridge, they sit at 5. Right behind this Evergreen team who sits at #4. It's Holy Family at 2, Niwot at 3. Pueblo West at 6, Ponderosa, Air Academy, Cheyenne Mountain, Coronado round out the top 10. Erie beat Discovery Canyon, who would essentially be ranked 12th, and Erie 13th. So Erie, a win potentially on the cusp of it, but 3 straight points surrendered here.
These are always the rankings that the players and the students care about, and the coaches could care less. But it's not the RPI, and that's what matters.
Announcers care because it makes for good on-air fodder.
There you go.
Phil's time. 4 straight points by Evergreen, and
filling time by getting points.
Tigers had to erase an early 5-point hole in this set. Evergreen trying to do the same. Dillon in the back row. Sebesta played back to her, leaning and zipped it in there. It touches the line, and a Tiger point. And leaning kind of backward, off balance, Sebesta still zipped one right down the line.
Well, it wouldn't be this match if it wasn't 21-19.
And that one in the net, 21-20. Evergreen not going down without a fight. This one zipped into the back row. Kreitz digs, set up, far side. Haley Hahn pounds one. Haley Hahn
Great swing.
in this set has just come alive for the Tigers. And a 2-point lead. Skylar Small, she got the rally started with some float serve. Into the back row, near side, set up, cross-court hit, dug out by Small, set up by Casillas. Quick in the middle, and a double hit.
Yeah, it's so tough because it's so close, and it's not really a double, and it's a close game.
Tough one there for Coach Creek and the Tigers. Tell you what, Coach Fox does not like that one.
That was a worse set, and maybe he knew it.
That one just tucks inside the antenna and tapped over. Hits the net. Karam's down. A little dump with an assist from the net.
There you go.
That might be all you need. Tigers on the brink of a big upset here. This one into the back row. Played off balance. Picked up by Small. Bumped for Kreitz. Good hit. Lift that wasn't called, says Coach Fox.
Right.
Now set up out of the middle and blocked, but falls onto the Erie side. That was Haley Dillon that ultimately got the kill. Still a 1-point lead here for Erie in the fourth. Waning moments. Nervous one here. Belts checks in. Belts, Small, and Kreitz dotting the back row. It'll be Kreitz, Casillas. Back to Sydney, leaning, rips one in there. Right between the two back row defenders, and the Tigers have match point. Amond into the back row. Can the Tigers finish this one off? We'll have a chance here. Set up, far side, Sydney Kreitz blocked nicely by the Missouri commit. Claudia Dillon, bound for SEC volleyball, according to our own Grayson Blaylock. It's still match point. Small. Set up, Belts will just have to play it over. Dig there by Haley, blocked, and it's all tied up. 24-24.
You see that coming from a mile away.
Tigers had a 20-15 lead. They've been outscored 9-4 here down the stretch. Back, dump, and it drops in there. Oh, what? I don't know if that was in.
Oh, they're calling a back row attack on Jess, who's a setter. I mean, it's probably the right call. It's so close to have her a jump set if she was above the net. That's so close.
And they're going to discuss this one.
I mean, she is the back row setter. She jumped. The question is, was she above the net? And it's a really it's a subjective call here. So something like that they're not going to overturn, but Sydney's trying to slow them down here and get an explanation.
And they will give the Cougars the point. Man, it seemed like we were moments from finishing this one, and now we're down one, are the Tigers. Here we go, into the back row. Belts will play it. Need a good one here. Kreitz goes across court, picked up by Evergreen. They'll just have to play it over here third time. Into the middle, Belts. It's set up for Kreitz, and she rips one down, and then a big thunderous smash to level off the set here at 25.
And she has really come alive since the middle of the second set into the third, and then here in the fourth, obviously.
Kreitz zips one into the back row. They'll set up near side, and Dillon spikes one, but dug out by Belts. Now Sebesta! Oh! Match point again for the Tigers. Tiger parents on their feet. Good serve there, out of the middle though, and it's tapped out of bounds, and the Tigers will win it on a miscue. And how about this? They knock off number 4 Evergreen 3-1, 23-25, 25-23, 25-21, 27-25.
There we go.
We'll take one timeout, final timeout. We'll come back, wrap things up here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Inside you. It will not die.
Ooh.
It will fight back.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Tigers win it 3-1. And they do so and come from behind fashion after dropping the first set. Fans excited, players excited, Coach Creek excited, former Coach Fox also, I think, pretty excited.
Yes, very excited. That's a great game.
Some of your final thoughts on this one?
Oh, I think they did a good job. They had a good attack from the outside, from both outsides all night long, and I think that really the difference there in that third and fourth set is Haley Hahn got going just enough in the middle to take some of the pressure out the outside, and they did a nice job.
And we'll make sure our camera is pointing out there. Make sure you're not feeling sick, but a good 2-0 start for the Tigers. A special thanks to our broadcast crew, Chris Jolly, Kayla McTavish. Our producer tonight is Grayson Blaylock. For Coach Fox, I'm Brandon Bird. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, I'll chirp at you later.